All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, people. That is a record breaking, that's historic. First time I've ever been that late. 11 minutes late. I'm kind of proud of myself. First time for everything. Right? My apologies. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Good to have you all back. I hope that the two individuals who I'm going to deal with in this live stream, I hope they are listening because I invited them to this live stream. I figure why not? These are public figures and I'm a critic. So I want to give them an opportunity to defend themselves and, an opportunity to enlighten us. They are the professionals. Now I've been sitting back, I've been waiting for them to say something because today is the last day of Dog Bite Prevention Week. I don't know how many people are aware of that. Right? Today is Saturday, last day of Dog Bite Prevention Week. And I knew that they would wait until the end of Dog Bite Prevention Week to try to sneak in some videos, some type of helpful tips. I've seen a number of these articles that have been written, right? But I've been waiting for some of these videos to be made. And I've been keeping an eye on this YouTube channel of the AVMA, American Veterinary Medical Association. And a few hours ago, they tried to sneak in a few videos. They uploaded these two videos, and I think they uploaded a few shorts. Okay, it looks like two more shorts or three more shorts that they've uploaded at the last minute. Oh, let's sneak it in there. See, they know that there's a group of critics out here listening. I get the feeling that they're aware. And they tried to be sneaky with these little videos, and they're real short. Now, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I stand corrected. Go ahead and let us know. Let me know if I'm wrong. Now, this one, both of them, they were uploaded to the channel 18 hours ago. 18 hours ago. So let's listen. Finally, they posted material on Dog Bite Prevention Week 2023. Why did it take so long? Why the last day? What is this? Okay, so what they have to say? Very short video. Let's go ahead and listen.
Howdy, it's Dr. Lori Teller here, president of the American
Whoa,
Veterinary Medical Association.
whoa. Okay, let's look at who we're listening to. Okay, this is AVMA President Dr. Lori Teller. I talked about her. That's her right here. That's the president. And she is also joined by President-elect Dr. Rena Carlson. Let's hear what they have to say.
Howdy, it's Dr. Lori Teller here, president of the American Veterinary Medical Association. I'm with my friend, Dr. Rena Carlson, and we want to talk to you about having your dog live a long, healthy life. And one of the best ways to do that is to make sure your dog is well socialized and
Now, wait, whoa. Well socialized so that it can live a long, healthy life? That kind of does not make sense. You know what I'm saying? That sounds weird. It has to be socialized so that it doesn't die. You know what she's saying. Has to be socialized so that it doesn't end up getting euthanized for attacking someone. That's what she's saying. What else could she be saying? Okay? If I'm misinterpreting this, please correct me, Dr. Teller.
Is to make sure your dog is well socialized and never wants to bite anybody because it's National Dog Bite Prevention Week. So,
now you hear how she worded that. Make sure it's well socialized. Let's hear that again. That's worth hearing again. It almost sounds like she sort of spilled the beans. That's incriminating.
And never
Whoa. All right now, Lori. I want to be careful. You know, be a little more careful. Now let's listen again.
To do that is to make sure your dog is well socialized and never wants to bite anybody.
Make sure it's well socialized and never wants to bite anybody. Why would it want to bite someone? Well, because it's not socialized. So these things have to constantly look at different human beings. The ones that they live with inside the home, that's not enough. They have to be brought out constantly, on a constant basis, so they can look at random people so that they don't want to attack them. Sound like you got a dysfunctional, brain damaged creature on your hands. Okay, and I'm not about to cater to no goofy. You don't have to do this with other animals. Like I point this out every single time. These other animals, they hardly ever see human beings. And the few times they see humans, they don't bother them. The very fact that they're not socialized is the reason why they don't want nothing to do with us. But we're supposed to accept this deranged, backwards brain of a dog. I don't think so. No, we're going to hold dogs to the same standard as other animals that are not socialized. The more unsocialized other animals are, the more harmless they are. Why is it the opposite with dogs? You're not getting no pass for that. Let's continue.
Because it's National Dog Bite Prevention Week. So, Dr. Carlson, what should I know as a pet owner?
So the biggest thing, and one of the most important, is training and socialization. And socialization of your puppy is so important. If you expose them to a lot of pets, a lot of people, they are much more at ease in those situations.
What she's saying is that you might reduce the chances of it attacking. She, I think, chose her words carefully. And that's all it does. It don't guarantee nothing. It might reduce the chances. I don't believe it reduces the chances at all, me personally. I think this is just a bunch of nonsense.
As they get older. Another thing
Whoa. Let's back that up a little bit.
Situations as they get older.
Whoa.
Another thing that people, they are much more at ease in those situations as they get older.
I'm sorry. I have to point this out every single time because I always encounter animals. I'm always walking through a crowd of ducks and geese and swan and all types of different giant birds. Quite often, they are with their young. I will walk through a crowd of them. They will walk by us. They don't pay us no attention. They're not socialized. They spend 99% of their life not seeing people. So what you're telling me is unacceptable. Okay? It's unacceptable on its face. Because you don't see it with other animals, then dogs are not getting a pass.
Another thing to think about is to make sure you keep them on a leash when you're in public.
Yeah, restrain them. Keep a hold of them. As you walk them around, as you take them out in public, hold on to them. Why? Because they're going to always want to attack people. This is Dog Bite Prevention Week advice. That's exactly what she's saying. Keep it on a leash so it doesn't haul off and randomly attack people. All right, President-elect AMVA, are y'all here? Are y'all in the room? Join me and let's welcome Dr. Lori Teller and Dr. Rena Carlson. Is that what you were saying, Dr. Rena Carlson? That's what I think you were saying.
And socialization. And socialization
hope y'all can hear this.
One of the most important is training and socialization. And socialization of...
She just skipped over training. Let's see if she'll go back to training. Now, keep in mind, people, I haven't even heard this one yet. I haven't even listened to this yet. And I don't need to. I don't need to prepare for these people no more. Because it's the same thing over and over and over and over and over. I know most of you are the same way.
Your puppy is so important. If you expose them to a lot of pets, a lot of people, they are much more at ease in those situations as they get older. Another thing to think about is to make sure you keep them on a leash when you're in public. That's a super important part of keeping them under control. And you can find a lot of stuff at avma.org/socialization. There's a lot of advice and a lot of help to make sure that we do everything we can to prevent dog bites and make sure our pets are socialized.
Absolutely. I love it when my dogs live a long, happy, healthy life.
Absolutely.
I don't. I love it when dogs are euthanized. Right? That way they can't have puppies and they can't go out and randomly attack people just because they haven't seen them before. Oh, who is this person? Never seen him before. Attack. Who is that? Who is that guy? Never seen him. Attack. There's nothing about that that is acceptable. Okay, let's be clear about that. You telling me that I need to hold on to this thing at all times, that don't prevent a dog bite. That don't prevent no dog bite. What prevents dog bites is to keep these things away from us. Now we are on dangerous grounds. You see the next video I'm about to play. Now I've listened to this one. Dog Bite Prevention Week 2023, educating children. So y'all wait till the last day of Dog Bite Prevention Week to ease in, sneak in a few videos. And the only thing you want to talk about is educating children. Let's hear what they have to say. Let me not prejudge.
It is National Dog Bite Prevention Week, and one of the most common victims and the ones to get injured the most when bitten by a dog are small children. I'm a mom, you're a mom. I know neither one of us ever want to see a child get hurt by a dog. So
Stop. Okay, and let's stop pretending like you care about your children. I mean, you're not even pretending that you care about your children. Let's stop talking as if you care about your children, because your actual behavior says that you don't care about them and that you don't really mind if they get mauled. You're a dog owner. That's exactly how you're behaving, how you're functioning. Actions speak louder than words. Okay, I had to point that out. Now, listen to how both of them, how they worded what they say.
National Dog Bite Prevention Week, and one of the most common victims and the ones to get injured the most.
Children are the ones to get injured the most, okay?
When bitten by a dog.
Injured the most when bitten. So she's saying that they sustain more injuries or worse injuries on average than other demographics. Okay, when children are attacked, the chances of them sustaining severe maulings and death is higher. Another big reason why they should be illegal. And at the very least, you need to make bully breeds illegal, but let's continue.
Our small children. I'm a mom, you're a mom. I know neither one of us ever want to see a child get hurt by a dog. So what are some...
You see, I don't have to say that. I'm sorry. I know I'm cutting her off again. I don't have to say that. All I have to do is live it. Bringing no dog around no child. I'm not bringing no child around no dog. Okay, so I don't have to go around saying that I don't want to see. I'm showing, demonstrating. Okay, we would rather you demonstrate, right, than say.
A child get hurt by a dog. So what are some ways that we can help educate our children on how to behave around
Why
dogs?
you need to educate the children? Do you hear what she said? Oh, listen.
Educate our children on how to behave around dogs.
Why is the problem automatically the children's behavior? People, this was uploaded just a few hours ago. This is the American Veterinary Medical Association's YouTube channel, official YouTube channel. This is the president and president-elect. Ma'am, children's behavior is never the cause of an attack. If you kept up with dog attacks, you'd know that. You would know that, ma'am. You'd know the conditions, the circumstances of each attack. This is so disrespectful. This is so disrespectful and unprofessional, ma'am. I literally every day, almost every single day, I'm reporting on new dog attacks. The vast majority are on kids. And we get the details of those stories, ma'am. We never hear what you're saying. So what are you giving a lecture on child behavior for? That's never the cause. The cause is always the presence of the dog. The problem is always the dog's aggression, its desire to attack kids for absolutely no reason. That's the problem. But y'all know not to deal with that. They can't deal with that head on. And how can you respect a group of professionals like that? You're not truly professionals. That's why I titled this the way that I did. You're pretending to be a professional. A professional will be well versed on the truth and the true scenarios that surround these attacks. We're not getting that from you. Again, it's the president and president-elect. This is very embarrassing. Look, I'm not trying to destroy y'all. But I am trying to destroy the lies that you're putting out here, the misinformation, because it gets people hurt.
I know neither one of us ever want to see a child get hurt by a dog. So what are some ways that we can help educate our children on how to behave around dogs and avoid those problems?
Well, that is such an important topic because I think it's so important we talk to our kids, we show them how to relate to animals, we talk to them about what role they play in our lives, and not just how to avoid being bitten, right? And if you go to avma.org/dogbite, there's a whole bunch of tips under the education tab. I'm a mom like you, now I'm a grandma, and in those roles and as a veterinarian, these tips have been really helpful with me over the years.
Absolutely.
Stop it. No, these tips have not. And we all know what the tips she's talking about. Don't stare at a dog. We went over them. Don't approach it directly. Approach it from an angle. Don't face it. Turn sideways. Make yourself more approachable. Ask permission before you pat a dog. The same old rubbish that gets proven to be false with almost every attack. So this is terrible. And this is why they waited till the last day to sort of sneak these videos in. Seemed like they uploaded them like 3 o'clock in the morning or something goofy. Yeah, we see why you did that. Now, let's look at what she's talking about. They said go to their website under education. Okay. Here's education. Okay, I don't even see what she's talking about. Continuing education. Does anybody see it? I don't see it. What is she even talking about? Don't even know what she's talking about. Veterinary specialties. What is this? You would think they would have that information on their home page. This is the home page. This is Dog Bite Prevention Week. Huh? You think they'd have it right smack dab? Huh? Okay. Now there are 2 more videos. This is horrible stuff. Those tips that they give, she knows full well they've never helped her to prevent a dog attack. She knows it. And she has not seen or read that anywhere in the reports. You've not seen or read that children do any of these things that you claim that they do before an attack. They're not pulling on the dog's ears. They're not yanking on its tail. That never precedes an attack. They're not provoking it. They're not taking its toy. This is all the tips that she's talking about on their website. They're not taking its toy. They're not doing any of that nonsense. Just look at the attack reports. You never see stuff like that. The only thing you see is unprovoked, completely unprovoked attacks. So why aren't you speaking about the scenarios that actually take place? I mean, if you're not doing that, then you're doing nothing. You're saying nothing. Nobody can relate to what you're talking about because their kids were not attacked in those scenarios. I mean, how is that supposed to help people? You listen to these people, your child got mutilated. Sitting there, their face, they're totally disfigured. And they're sitting up there talking about how you need to get permission before you try to pet it. Sitting up there telling you that you gotta not stare at the dog. Your child wasn't doing none of that. Don't yank on its tail or pull on its ears. Here it is. Somebody opened the car door. The dog darted out and just attacked your child. They sitting up giving you this stupid advice. You're not dealing with reality, with the content of the real attack reports. And that's the problem.
Hola, soy el Dr. José Arce, expresidente
Okay,
inmediato de
this guy's speaking Spanish. Let's listen to this one.
It's National Dog Bite Prevention Week, and we want to remind everyone that any dog under the right situation can bite, whether they're big or small, cuddly and fuzzy, or more standoffish. Any dog can bite. So what are some things that our friends and family should know about not getting bit?
Absolutely, and there are plenty.
What should you know about not getting bit? Okay.
One of the first things is make sure we avoid some of those certain situations, like when they're eating or sleeping. We don't want to startle them.
Oh my God. Why are you dealing with these scenarios when you never hear about them from the witnesses of dog? You're dealing with a person who deals with every single dog attack. I cover these things. Why are you dealing with these scenarios that never actually take place before a dog attack? It's a waste of time. Based on actual attack reports, the true way to prevent dog attacks is to make sure dogs are not around, not in the home. Make sure they are not in the neighborhood. That's the only way. These things attack unprovoked each and every time.
We don't want to put our hands near their face at that time. It's also important to think about, don't put your hands through a fence if there's a dog. You just never know.
Don't put your hands through a fence. How many of y'all remember a dog attack where the person attacked actually stuck their hand through a fence? Does any of you remember even a single? I don't remember nothing like that. So why are they doing this? Why are they talking about this?
What they're going to do.
See how people, I've been saying this for the longest. They make up scenarios in their mind. And it's always a scenario made up that most suits their narrative. To take blame off the dog, to put blame on everyone else. Their favorite talking point is how others do things that provokes the attack. When virtually every attack that I've covered involves people minding their own business. Many times they don't even know there's a dog around. The dog has seen them from afar and is running towards them and attacks them. You need to speak on those attacks, the context of those attacks, not your made up scenario in your head, which is your favorite scenario because it protects the dogs and blames people. No, we need you to deal with the actual attack reports, please. You're the professional. American Veterinary Medical Association president-elect. We need real information, doctors. Both of these females got the doctor before their name. Okay, we expect more out of people of your status, your education. Okay, I don't want to hear no imagination. When professionals at this level speak, I don't want to hear your creativity. I want to hear facts and that correspond with the actual reports that surface. Okay? That's not asking for too much. This is horrible. Yeah, now you see why they snuck these little goofy videos in late at night.
Lots of tips. These are just a few. You can find those at avma.org.
Stop. Now here's one more.
Hey, Dr. Carlson, do you know what this week is?
I think I heard it's Dog Bite Prevention Week.
It is. It's National Dog Bite Prevention Week. I'm so excited.
So what does AVMA have in store?
We have some amazing social media posts full of ways to educate our clients and pet owners how to be safe around dogs. So we have infographics. Have you seen them?
I have not. Where can I find them?
You can find them at avma.org/dogbite. Check that out. Lots of reasons.
Listen, man. I don't like these women's energy. This is a serious subject. This ain't nothing to be, acting kiddie and childish about. Ain't nothing to be smiling about. This is a very serious subject. Okay? Dog attacks are a very serious problem, and they are increasing with time. They're getting worse with time. Now is the one time to get serious. Okay, so she shares or they share nothing in that final video. So let's do a quick search. Wait a minute. AMVA. Okay, so it looks like, can y'all see that? I'm sorry, people. Let me check on y'all. Let me check on the chat room. Sorry about that. I get so lost that when I get start doing live streams, I get in the zone. Hopefully y'all can see that. How y'all doing this morning? This beautiful Saturday morning. I'm in Ohio. The sun is shining real nice over here. Okay. All right. Now, some of you might remember, I went over this before, but it looked like they have two separate little articles: dog bite prevention and teaching children how to prevent dog bites. Children can't prevent no dog bite. That's your responsibility. That's the adults. People, doesn't that sound crazy? Teach kids how to prevent dog bites. Yeah, teach kids how to be their own adult parents. What are you talking about? What else do kids just magically teach themselves? Y'all remember this goofy article where smack dab at the very top, they have what I would call a child, very young woman, doing exactly what the behaviorists tell you to never, ever do, to face and put your face directly in the face of a dog, staring at it in its eyes. They tell you to never do that. That dogs take it as a challenge. In the dog world, the mutated, dysfunctional dog brain, they tell you never ever do this. This is dangerous. And obviously this is dangerous. You remove any ability that you may have to avoid a dog bite when you put your face directly in the face of a dog, because now you can't even back up, lean to the side. As soon as it tries to bite you, it's biting you. So good job, American Veterinary Medical Association, leading by example. This is the advice. This is what you're trying to encourage people to engage in. How you gonna have a section on dog bite prevention and then use a massive photo of a person doing exactly what you're not supposed to do, according to behaviorists? You see why I titled this video like, y'all pretend to be experts. You're not professionals. You don't function like professionals. When I go and listen to real professionals, lawyers and stuff, I shut up. I understand I'm learning here. That's not the case with you all. How crazy is that? Dog bite prevention. Big photo of exactly what you ain't supposed to do. So they start off sharing some statistics, okay? Scroll down, you see this little section, why do dogs bite? Well, dogs bite for a variety of reasons, but most commonly as a reaction to something. Yeah, reaction to something simply existing. That's the only something they react to. You simply living. If the dog finds itself in a stressful situation, it may bite to defend itself or its territory. Well, that all depends on what this dumb dog considers stressful or what stresses it. If you tell me simply stepping on grass stresses out a dog, a sound will stress out a dog, listen, don't also try to sell me that its attack of me is justified because it was stressed. That makes sense? Dogs can bite. Look at the choice of words. Dogs can bite because they are scared or have been startled. They can bite because they feel threatened. They can bite to protect something that's, so as you can see, they're That's their way of trying to suggest to you that when they attack, it's only because they were startled. It's only because they were scared. They're the victim. You know, how can you be the perpetrator if you're scared? So the dog is scared. You can't blame it. It was scared. Oh, it felt threatened. So you can't blame it. You're the blame for doing something that made it feel threatened. Oh, it was trying to protect something valuable to it. You can't blame it. That's all this is. Oh, it was protecting its puppies. Dogs might bite because they are not feeling well. Okay? And this is all supposed to be acceptable. Okay, again, if people did this, we would not give them a pass. You can't go around punching people in the face just because you have a cold. Okay? Just because you got a sore somewhere, you can't go around attacking people. Nobody's going to give you a pass. So this is unacceptable. Especially when the creature that's attacking people when it's not feeling well is deadly. What are you talking about? Okay. If this creature you talking about has no business around kids, do you understand? That's what you're articulating right now, AMVA, AVMA, huh? That's what you're explaining to us right now. A deadly creature that will attack because it just don't feel well. You better not have that nowhere near no kid, nowhere. No person, nobody's grandparents, nobody. Something like that has no business in society. It goes on. It could be sick or sore due to injury or illness and might want to be left alone. See how they always project the idea that someone's always approaching the dog and violating it in some way, when we know that it's routine for dogs to violate other people's personal space. Dogs might also nip and bite during play. See, just excuse after excuse after excuse. And they never get around to the most frequent scenario, which is complete unprovoked attacks. They deal with everything but the type of attack that takes place well over 90% of the time. Completely unprovoked attacks. This is not professional advice. Even though nipping during play might be fun for the dog. So wait a minute. They will bite even when they're just trying to have fun? That's the way they play and communicate, through biting. Okay. It can be dangerous for people. Yeah, tell me about it. You think? Yeah, this has no place in society. Good idea to avoid, or it's a good idea to avoid wrestling or playing tug of war with your dog. These types of activities can make your dog overly excited, which may lead to a nip or a bite. And that's another problem. Thanks for incriminating dogs. So it'll attack as a form of communication, as a form of play, and when it's simply excited, when it hears a sound, you stand up, you reach over it. How many excuses have they given so far? What can you do around a dog that it won't interpret as a reason to attack? That's the question at this point. Can't even look at it. Can't even breathe too loud. Okay. So y'all remember this. And this is quite lengthy. That's why they have these different categories. You see, now, this one is the one that they were referring to. Y'all remember, I think I went over this. It's the same old rhetoric. Avoid incidents with strange dogs. Stay away from dogs you don't know. That does not help you. Don't ever pet a dog without asking first. That does not help you. That does not keep anybody safe. I can't even count how many reports I've shared where the person attacked got permission to pet the dog. I just reported a story just surfaced a few days ago where not only did the victim get permission, I think this was a child victim, not only did she get permission to pet the dog, the owner said, of course you can pet the dog, and said the dog likes to be petted here, and actually showed the attack victim where to pet it. It's still attacked. Okay, so your expert opinion or advice is false. Are we not supposed to point that out? Huh? If we, the people, do research into what you're saying to us, and we find out that what you're saying is false, are we not supposed to point that out? Is this not supposed to be an issue? Coming from the president and president-elect. Okay. Quietly walk away, be a tree. None of this helps you. None of this helps you. And stop telling children to be a tree when it's almost impossible to stay perfectly still when a dog charges at you. That's impossible for an adult to do. Avoid escalating the situation by yelling, running, hitting, or making sudden movements. Oh my goodness. Avoid incidents at home. Never tease dogs by taking their toys, food, treats, or pretending to hit or kick. Again, this is never a part of the scenario in dog attack cases. That's just the fact. So why are you pointing this out? You know, as if they have story after story of this scenario. Again, look, never pull a dog's ears or tail. And don't drag the dog. How many of y'all remember dog attack cases where the child dragged the dog first or climbed on it, pulled his ears? Like, what are you talking about? I mean, just as a person who keeps up with dog attacks, you know, I object to what you're saying. It doesn't correspond with the actual attacks. Don't try to play dress up with the dog, huh? You know how many dog lovers do that? Leave dogs alone when they're eating or sleeping. So again, it's always you doing something to the dog. So the people are confused because when we see attacks in the real world, nobody's doing nothing to these worthless mutts. The only thing that anybody might do is pet it, show it physical affection. But all they do is take blame off the dog, blame people, blame the victim, and they never get around to dealing with the dominance that dogs have an instinct to display. They have an instinct to fight. In dog packs, that's all they do is fight and try to intimidate and bully others to establish rank. Everything they do has to do with aggression and attacking. It's a part of their nature to attack. All of your goofy training and advice is all geared to try to take its or remove its natural desire to attack. Manipulate it with food. Teach children that the dog has to want to play with them. And when the dog leaves, he leaves. He'll return for more play if he feels like it. This is a simple way to allow kids to be able to tell when a dog wants to play and when he doesn't. So if you want to play and the dog doesn't, it rips your face off. Kids don't need companions like that. You know, it's as simple as that. Let them play with other kids. That's not going to tear their throat out simply because they don't feel like playing. Lord, why do I have to be here lecturing humans on how to be humans? This is so embarrassing. Don't feel right. This don't feel right. This is not what I was born for. I didn't come into this world to lecture humans on the fact that, hey, you're human. Try to get them to realize that they're humans and instruct them on how to function like a human. Oh, you got to be taught to not live like a dog. You know you're thoroughly living like a dog when you're treating the dog like one of your children. And that obviously involves letting the dog around your children, leaving the dogs alone with your children, literally treating them like one of your children. At that point, you need to be lectured on the fact that you are human and you're not a dog. That is pathetic. It's pathetic. You require that type of lecture. Oh, this is a science. My screen name is I Hate Dogs, but this is a lot more complex than that. Don't give kids too much responsibility for dogs too early. They just may not be ready. Always supervise and check on dog care responsibilities given to children. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Obviously, it means, oh, the children might do something to it, violate the dog in some way. People don't forget that crazy video where the child walks in the room and you hear this scary music. The child grows fangs and devil horns, right? Poor little innocent. That's the narrative, always. It's always the backdrop. Remember, if you get your kids a dog, you're getting yourself a dog too. What in the world? Is this the great wisdom that they were talking about? I guess so. So this year's, and you see, I think I shared this before. This has always been on the little side of their website. They have a little, a little banner, a little ad. Dog bite statistics. 88 million dogs in the U.S., 4.5 million children are the most common victims of dog bites and are far more likely to be severely injured. Okay, so they know the facts. What's the cost? This was kind of crazy to me too. Insurers paid out $881 million in liability claims in 2021 alone. $881 million. That's a lot of money in people being attacked by dogs. Over the past decade, State Farm has paid over $1.1 billion for dog-related injury claims. A ton of money in people being attacked by dogs. That's very dangerous. That's extremely dangerous. So I'm disappointed, as everyone should be disappointed, in the professional class in this dog culture. putting out misinformation, false information, back to back to back. Dog Bite Prevention Week. What I'm going to show you now is several articles that surfaced this week in honor of Dog Bite Prevention Week. This surfaced 4 days ago. Why do dogs bite? Okay. To prevent your dog from biting, socialize it. Use positive reinforcement only. Walk it. Take it for a walk. Make sure it's in good health. Never leave kids alone with it. Don't allow your kids to ride or sit or pull its ears or tail. Okay. To keep from being bitten, they recommend avoiding approaching or attempting to pet any dog in these risky situations. So don't attempt to pet any dog if the dog is not with its owner. If it's with its owner, you're still getting attacked, okay? When the dog is with its owner, but the owner did not give permission to pet the dog. What? The dog is in a car. Dog's on the other side of the fence or tethered. Dog is running loose, sleeping, eating, injured. Basically, if the dog is doing anything, right? You could double this list. Read body language. Teach. Oh boy, you knew this part was coming. Teach your children well is one of the sections in this article. Always get permission. Don't run towards a dog. It can run towards you. Never tease, bark, or growl at a dog. Don't bother it when it's sleeping. Look at this. Don't bother very old dogs. You see what I mean when I said what they do is they come up, they literally make up every scenario possible. That way, if you do anything and it attacks, they can blame you for it. Oh, it's an old dog and you bothered it. Don't dress a dog in play clothes. Don't hug or kiss a dog or pet them on top of the head. Really? Really? As strong as that's promoted, hugging it. Like, what are you talking about? The president I just showed kissed a dog right in the mouth on video on their YouTube channel. I showed it. That president that I just showed. What was her name? Lori? Dr. Lori Teller? Okay. Your president is doing this stuff, but okay. Don't hang on to a dog who's trying to get away, huh? You see what I mean? They're talking as if they've read dog attack reports where a person was hanging on to a dog that was trying to get away before the attack. It's like, what are you even talking about? If approached by an unknown or overly friendly or hostile dog, stand or be a tree. Here we go with this goofiness. Okay, so that's pathetic. And again, they don't deal with the dog's outright unprovoked aggression, which is almost the exclusive reason why they attack. These attacks are unprovoked. They're all unprovoked. This article surfaced 2 days ago. Staying safe, Dog Bite Prevention Week. Dogs typically bite for 2 reasons: fear and guarding a resource such as food, their resting place, a toy, or their owner. That is a lie. That's a lie. I don't have to explain nothing. I am motivated by the actual reports. That is a lie. And that's disrespectful, man. Many attacks I've shared, I've shown where dogs run great distances and attack for no reason. They ain't guard no resource. So these people, it is very clear now. They're pretending to be experts. Isn't that obvious? That's all they're doing. This is the craziest thing in the world. Growing up, I always thought, all experts were genuine. It's real experts. I never would have thought that some experts, all they do is pretend to be an expert. None of their knowledge comes from real cases. That is so crazy to me. Could you imagine a homicide detective doing this? Rather than dealing with the actual case and the evidence, the actual body and whatnot, they make up some other murder in their head and operate on that. Oh, it was a different cause of death in my imagination. What are you talking about? Okay, when was the last dog attack that took place in the news where fear was the cause? You go ahead, since y'all know everything. Go ahead, drop it in the chat room, drop it in the comment section. Leave a link. And matter of fact, I want three cases where the attack was caused by fear or guarding a resource. Wow. How can I prevent a dog bite? When the dog is with its owner, get permission. Oh boy. Oh boy. If a dog is sleeping, or don't bother it. If it's eating, don't bother it. If it's with a toy, don't bother it. Okay, so blame people. Blame the victims. This is all this is. Taking blame off the dog. Don't bother it when it's with its puppies. Don't try to pet it if it growls or barks at you. What? Don't reach through a fence. If a dog goes into its crate, don't bother it. Don't pet service dogs. Don't hug or kiss it. Oh my goodness. Socialize it. Learn your dog's body language. Don't put your dog in a situation where teasing. People, what is with this teasing? I've never read a report of a dog attack where someone was teasing a dog. People in general don't tease dogs. I don't get that. Don't get that. That's always stood out to me as something that they simply make up. That is so crazy to me. And this is all around the world. No matter where you find a dog behaviorist or trainer, they all say the same things. Okay? So look at this great knowledge that these professionals are hitting us with on Dog Bite Prevention Week. Okay. Hey, I'm not impressed. This is the same goofy rhetoric. Why dog bite prevention matters and what you can do. This was uploaded a few days ago. And as always, blaming the victims. When approaching a dog, be aware of their body language, respect their space. Never approach a dog head on or from above its head. Dogs may become uncomfortable if they feel threatened or cornered. If you don't know how a dog will react, ask the owner for, oh, Lord. Teach the children how to interact safely. Ask permission. Don't tease, pull the dog's tail or ears. I'm still waiting to find the dog attack report where a child was teasing or pulling a dog's tail or ears. Where are y'all getting that from? You're getting it from your imagination. That's all. Getting it from your imagination. I'm sorry, that's crazy to me. For a group of professionals to do that, that's just crazy to me. That's the Twilight Zone part of all this. Now, this is from a government website in honor of Dog Bite Prevention Week. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This was published 5 days ago. Look at that. McHenry County il.gov. Prevent dog bites through education. Okay. Keep them healthy, socialized. What is it? Be a responsible dog owner. Get a dog that's right for your home. Training, exercise, spayed, neutered. Be considerate when approaching dogs. Pay attention to the dog's body language. Get out of here, man. This body language nonsense. These experts, they act like they're out here with a whole bunch of examples of people who watched or saw the dog's body language and leapt into action. Oh, I see the body language, and leapt into action and stopped it. You have no examples. Y'all, all the experts, how come y'all don't have no examples of y'all doing this? Oh, I saw the body language and I leapt in the action and stopped the dog attack. Every time it happened, that attack I just shared yesterday, what'd that lady say? She said the attack was over before we even realized that it had started. How you gonna lecture somebody on body language when attacks happen that abruptly? You see, this is all a con. Oh, you missed the body language. You weren't staring at it nonstop, so you missed the body language. Shut up. Lord. These are people pretending to be experts. I'm offended because myself, everybody who's followed this channel, others on other platforms, we have been doing the necessary work for years. Years, only to sit back and watch the so-called professionals use their imagination, lie, right? Make stuff up. This was published 4 days ago. National Dog Bite Prevention Week, promoting peaceful coexistence with our canine companions. That's not possible. Nowhere in the world do dogs and people coexist peacefully where there are no dog attacks. Nowhere in the world. So that's funny. Oh yes, that's funny. Secure your dog. Use clear signage, okay? Train your dog. Socialize it. Communicate with delivery services. If possible, notify delivery services about your dog and any special instructions for delivering packages to your home, okay? Monitor your dog's behavior. No. How about no? I'm not about to sit and stare at nothing deadly. And if it decides to attack somebody, I'm the one that's got to soar through the sky, tackle it, and risk getting mutilated myself. If you want that type of lifestyle, knock yourself. No. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Ban them. Yeah. You should not be in possession of these things. You're endangering the whole community. And they're giving some more tips. Don't leave children unsupervised with dogs, even family pets. Over half of all dog-related injuries are to children. And for kids that are under 4 years of age, those bites are to the head and neck region. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's usually head and neck region. It's not true. Well, it is true. Of course, you don't ever leave dogs alone with children. But you should never even be in possession of the dog in the first place. What you gonna do with it? You know, you can't bring it around your family. Can't bring it in the house. Can't bring it in the community. Just get rid of them. Make sure it's healthy. Take it slow. This is real goofy. Educate yourself. Be responsible about approaching. It's the same old rhetoric. Use a leash. Monitor your dog's activity. Oh boy. They tried to get creative. All nonsense. Listen, I don't need a lecture. These people don't need no lecture. They know what they're in possession of. They know that there's no amount of information that will enable them to prevent a dog attack. They all know that the dog can attack anyone whenever it wants. And they're simply hoping that they don't. That's all. That's it. And they may not even be doing that. They might be privately looking forward to their dog mauling someone's child. Every time they step out the front door, they are fully aware this dog could attack anyone, even myself, at any moment. I'm going to just hope that it doesn't, so that I can enjoy the attention it brings and feed my social and mental disorder, right? And continue to endanger people. Same nonsense. This was published a few days ago in honor of Dog Bite Prevention Week from some Humane Society sheltered nutter organization. Again, today is the last day of Dog Bite Prevention Week. Asked to approach from a respectful distance of about 15 to 20 feet. Wait a minute. Okay. To prevent dog attacks, stand 15 to 20 feet away from a dog and its owner and ask permission. If you have to do that, don't you think it's dangerous to approach the dog even if you get permission? Kids or not, listen, don't be dumb. If someone gives you permission to pet their dog, you know full well the dog can still attack you. You know it. So act on what you know. Stop listening to people. You're better off thinking for yourself. Even if you're very young. If you're old enough to listen to my videos, you can think for yourself. Trust yourself. Share information about your dog's interaction performances. What? Known or unknown behaviors, training goals, and listen to information shared by dog owners before introductions are met. What? These are your tips. Keep your eyes on the pet to make sure they're comfortable and engaged and watch for changes in body. Yeah, sit there and stare at it. Yeah, it's something so dangerous. They have told you, stare at it. Just watch it nonstop. Something that dangerous. You got to continuously watch it. Listen to how crazy. This sounds like a bunch of crazy lunatics. No, thank you. If they begin to show discomfort, take the initiative to end the interaction and respect the dog's boundaries. This never happens. Does that make sense? You never hear of anybody, oh, the dog looked uncomfortable. Dogs go from looking comfortable to attacking. Do you understand? Don't shut up about this lip licking. Dogs are always licking their lips. They're always turning their head to the side. They're always looking around. Everything they say is a warning sign and something dogs do all the time. Shut up. So this was real worthless. This article right here. It only got 3 highlighted topics. May as well not said anything. Where are you worthless experts, so-called experts? You know, this is offensive. For you to even portray yourself as professionals and experts, that's disrespectful.
Dog Bite Prevention Week. Did you know that? Well, it is.
What?
Joining us as coverage you can count on begins with this being National Dog Bite Prevention Week. Did you know that? Well, it is. And experts are giving advice on how to enjoy our furry friends and stay safe.
Nikita Dennis is live in the Satellite News Center now with the story. Nikita?
Man.
Yeah, even though dogs can be nice, learning the best way to interact with them can prevent dogs.
Listen to this nonsense. This is utter insanity. Got to give you lectures on how to keep this thing from attacking you.
Dog biting incidents. Experts say millions of people are bitten by dogs.
Now that person is doing exactly what this trainer suggested you don't do. Don't pet them on the top of the head. And I've said this. Dog lovers do everything that they're told not to do. They said pet it on the chest or around the shoulders, not the top of the head.
Dogs every day. Mandy Foster with pause for.
Yeah, how about you just euthanize these aggressive, worthless, disgusting mutants? How about that?
Life in Evans specializes in dog training. She says in most cases, children are more likely than adults to be bitten by dogs.
And that's just simply because, there's so much stuff on social media that you see these cute videos, these cute pictures of kids interacting with dogs, with them laying on dogs, hugging them, and that kind of thing. And that's actually very, very dangerous.
Oh, really? Wow. She pointed out that the stuff you see on YouTube is dangerous. Kids interacting with dogs. She said laying on dogs. She has to include, or she's also talking about hugging dogs and petting dogs. Just petting them. She's include that too. She's admitting that it's dangerous, basically, for kids to be around dogs. Okay, so thank you. But a lot of these attacks don't involve those scenarios of some interaction between the child and the dog. A lot of times, the child's not doing nothing. Just go to my Twitter. Just look up the reports yourself. They're doing nothing. not doing nothing to these things.
Dog behavioral specialists say certain interactions with dogs can cause them to bite. It's important to train your dogs properly.
No interaction whatsoever with them and they will bite. What are you talking about? The vast majority of attacks involve people having no interaction with the dog before it attacked them. What are you talking about? God, shut up, man. Y'all not the experts. Shut up. People want to know about dogs and how to prevent dog attacks. You listen to us, not you. Lord.
Properly to avoid dangerous situations.
Even with their family dogs who they've been with forever, you just never know. There are different things that can cause it.
You just never know. No matter how much training, no matter what. And all dog lovers, they're all aware of this. And that's why it's always a crime. It's a criminal culture, criminal lifestyle. In each case where there's an attack inside the home, that's a crime. That's a crime. The living conditions alone, even without the attack, breaks the law. It breaks the reckless endangerment laws.
Dog to turn and bite, like pain, discomfort of any kind, anxiety. So it's just really important to respect the dog's space.
Pain and anxiety, she cited as two reasons why the dogs attack. Pain and anxiety, which is nothing but excuses. She's mentioned those just to take the blame off the dog. That's just her way of saying, hey, it's never the dog's fault. It's always someone else's fault. And if it does attack, it's justified because, hey, it was hurt and it was just trying to protect itself. Most of these attacks, the dog is just fine. It's not in pain. It's not full of anxiety or nothing like that. It simply saw a child, and just like it does when it sees other dogs or small animals, decided to attack just to establish dominance. That's what dogs do. They attack to establish dominance. They attack just to attack. There are only so-called animals that do that. How many of y'all heard that story here surfaced, I think, yesterday, of another farmer? He lost like 71 goats or sheep or something. And this always happens. These dogs go through and kill livestock, kill animals. They're not killing for food. You know how much energy that takes? Quite often, after lions make a kill, they have to take a rest because they exerted so much energy for that kill. Right? They'll kill it and they'll sit and rest. Go up in a tree and take a rest, and then they'll start to feed. So it requires energy, and you risk your life when you hunt. But dogs are so dumb, so reckless, so abnormal. They exert all that energy, kill after kill, for absolutely nothing. Just for the joy of killing. They don't eat, they don't feed on these dead animals. They just kill them. Don't try to lecture me on the behavior of myself or my kids when we're attacked by these things. Something that functions like that, that's that addicted to violence, get out of here.
Columbia County has a leash law. It requires owners to have their dogs on a leash while in public or at dog parks. Foster says if you see a dog and want to pet it, it's important to ask for the owner's permission.
No, don't pet dogs. Stop. Man, haven't y'all figured out by now that you could give somebody this advice to get permission if they want to pet a dog and then they still get attacked? And in that scenario, you were basically the cause. Blood is on your hands. And it could be a fatality. All because they listen to your stupid advice. No, you listen to my advice, you'll be just fine. Don't go around them. Don't try to pet them. Stay away from them.
What ends up happening, a lot of times we see people that let their dogs off leash, even at some of the local parks, and they approach dogs and they have no idea, what this dog might do.
That's a lie. Generally, when people see a dog off leash, they don't approach no off leash dog. That's a lie. Dogs running around off leash are the ones approaching everyone else. Again, I had to point this out. People, they make things up. They make scenarios up. It's irrefutable at this point. Man, how many more times do I need to point this out? Do I need to stop and explain how they're just making stuff up? People in general just don't do that. Approach no off-leash dog. Those are the one dogs people don't approach. When people approach dogs, they're almost always on a leash or something. Wow. Look, they do approach off-leash dogs, but that's usually when a mutt is in the middle of the street or something like that, and you got some diehard nutter trying to save them. But generally that's not happening.
Foster also says if you can, try to keep your dogs away from infants and children. Live in the satellite.
If you can, keep your dogs away from infants and children. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, experts? If you can, just keep the dogs away from them. Make sure that the dogs can't even see them. Keep them away from them. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice video to end with. They don't want to hear that. Oh, what do you mean? Xenophobia? So, oh, yeah. That's basically what they suggested. They just advised the masses to acquire xenophobia. Because I told you, there's nothing wrong with you if you avoid dogs. It's the intelligent thing to do. And you see, we as people, sometimes we come right back to common sense. This media outlet went right back to advising people to do exactly what xenophobia says, is a mental illness. Oh, you avoid dogs. Oh, you have xenophobia. You have a mental disorder if you try to avoid dogs. Here, they told you to do exactly that. Because that's common sense. That's good old common sense. So I don't know what else needs to be said. Oh, man. Yeah. Protect your kids. Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Charles D. Curry said, would a person go and try to pet an alligator? I mean, it might not attack you, just like the dog. But are you dumb enough to just go do that? And why would you want to? What are you going to get out of it? Other than a chance to get mauled? What in the world? Mr. Payne said, if you see a dog, avoid it at all costs. And if it attacks you, kill it before it tears into your flesh. Yes. You don't go up to it. You don't ask for permission to pet it. That's the last thing you want to do. Get close enough to touch it and actually touch it. Crazy how they give this kind of advice during a prevention week. They want to give advice on how to prevent the attacks, and they tell you to go up to the dogs. Oh, just get permission first. you're going to be the one people who get people bitten, telling them to go up to dogs and try to pet them. Oh my goodness. It's such a faulty, such a flawed profession. You know, it's embarrassing to even, look into it. This is crazy. Yes. We say, yes, dogs are a nuisance everywhere, inner city, rural farms, everywhere. And that's crazy. Terrorize communities in the inner cities and in the suburbs and rural farmland. They're ripping through livestock just nonstop. You check out those stories. They are crazy. Let me see. Let me see if I can find one, because I just saw it. I think it was it sheep? Something like that. Yeah, here it is right here. How about I went right to it. 73 lambs killed. Really? Like, how? How do you kill 73 lamb? You know how long that takes? Just kill. That is troubling. That's troubling. That's unnatural. There's nothing natural about that. I try to hammer this point home all the time. I try to emphasize how unnatural dogs function, behave. These are not natural animals. We don't have to accept none of this as natural. And it's not natural for entire communities, entire blocks, entire neighborhoods to live in fear. I just read about this story recently that surfaced where the people said that they were so terrified of these dogs that they kept their kids inside of the home when the dogs were out. They would not let their kids out. Stuff like that happens all over the country. That's not natural. That is abnormal for entire neighborhoods to be under siege and terrorized because of some animals, a few animals in the neighborhood. That lets you know those so-called animals shouldn't be there. And basically that they're unnatural. The presence of any other animal, they're not going to be present. Generally, they don't want to be around us. They want to live out to themselves. Yeah, it was crazy. 73 lamb. Okay. You cannot come up with more evidence than we already have, with more proof than we already have. And for them to remove pit bull bans at a time like now, that should be looked into, like, seriously. It just shouldn't happen. That's exactly what they're doing. And if they're going to do that, there needs to be some serious backlash. Right? That's what we're here for. Shout out to everybody up in the house this Saturday morning. Yeah. Pro dog propaganda. Yeah. And it's crazy how the pro dog propaganda, it's everywhere. So many websites, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I remember a couple of days ago, had a dog icon soon as you went to Twitter. The dog propaganda is skyrocketing. At the same time, attacks are skyrocketing. Right? Skyrocketing at the exact time when they shouldn't be. When they should be scrutinized more. They get more praise. The most backwards, culture, it really hands down in the world. Shout out to everybody able to join me on yet another lengthy live stream. Good to see everybody. I see BK in here, Kitty, my man Matthew. What's the plan this weekend? I'm going to soak this weekend up, man, as best I can. I've been looking at the clock like multiple times each hour just to make my weekend stretch. You know, I want it to move slow. I cannot wait to retire, you know, and just soak in life day by day. Life is so valuable, so precious. So much time passed before we were born, and we're only here for a short period of time. We don't have time, and even if we did have time, it just does not make sense to play with our lives. Yeah, don't play with my life. And the last thing we need to be doing is playing with the life of other people. You can be dumb all you want, suicidal all you want. You want to jump off a building, knock yourself out, as long as you don't land on me. Once you start to endanger other people, now we have a problem. Shout out to everybody able to join me on this live stream. And I hope to have you all back on the next as we continue with this crusade.